I don't know. I'm not actively rooting for anybody in this.
Oh, I'm rooting for the mom.
I'm just here for the drama.
The mom ain't done nothing wrong, other than possibly cheating on her husband with a photographer. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we are back with another episode of Gosenzo-sama. Long live the ancestors. Once again, thank you to Henri for sponsoring these videos. We wouldn't have even known this show existed if not for the sponsorship. I guess the first thing to do is let's just bring up the board, because you know you're both going to reference the board when it comes to trying to remember what happened last time.
Correct.
So I have added our new guy from last episode. I also thought I'd be a little bit cute about the relationship ties. Obviously, I've color-coded the arrows, so between the people who considers who, but I kind of liked the symmetry I had going on. So it's like, oh, if I put this guy at the top, I can line him up with the guy he gets into a fight with, but he's clearly the enemy of her down here, so how can I do that? Because normally, if I didn't give a shit, I just put him like over here where your cursor is, or over here. It's like, oh, that would ruin it. Well, he's a fucking time traveler. Just make his line go up past the top of the board and come up from underneath it.
I saw that. I was real confused at first, and then I was like, oh, I see what you did. I love it.
I tried to make it as long as possible, but then I got no hard time. So, one of these lines is double long on the bottom. It's only half as long on the top. The assumption is you're not going to zoom out as far as possible to try and see it.
But I did.
Well, the chances you're going to get lost then, because this is such a small portion of the screen.
It's true.
So yeah, how'd you go and tell us what you remember from last time?
I don't.
Okay, well, let's go over
To
the
be
lines then.
Absolutely honest.
Well, I mean, let's see. Before I go over like lines and relationship stuff, I'll just do it as I remember it. Obviously, Dad here. I remember at the very beginning of the episode, the son is in the bath, asking for the granddaughter to come wash his back in that cheeky way that he is a pervert. And then Dad shows up. And we cover this whole thing about, like, how she's doing everything the mother did, but she's very respectful and everything. Obviously, the mother already left in episode 1.
Yes.
She wasn't a fan of this. That's why I put a red line in a relationship to her. Obviously, she worships the ancestors, which is the whole point of the thing. So I still left a green line to her. She probably still likes her. But she does not like this situation. That's the red. Correct. I was not certain if this dude is infatuated with her like the son is. I think he's not. I think he just enjoys the same relationship he had with his wife without that one element.
I'm on the same page with that one.
That's why they're both green lines. Obviously, he's infatuated, so purple line, that relationship line. She doesn't seem to have the same feelings for him as far as I can tell, so green line back to him. Son and dad are fighting constantly, double red line there. Son and the mother, as far as I can tell, are still just fine, so that's the green line. And of course, these two are married, so purple lines. Dude comes back in time, steals a Coke from the Coke machine.
Yes, and there's very, very subtle Coke advertising. Super subtle.
Was there? Just beyond the guy drinking a Coke?
There was like the billboards and stuff too.
What billboard? Dude just standing by the side of the road, as far as I could tell.
I'm pretty sure there was like the mass, like standing by the side of the road, there was just a big old Coke billboard.
I don't remember it. That's a joke, by the way. Obviously, this was your joke last time that you didn't see anything. So now you have you describe the Coke billboard to me.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yeah. He rides a bus, gets there, describes the fact that people in the future worship their ancestors to the point that they'll go back in time to serve them for some weird reason, which makes her a time criminal. And there's a whole thing that goes on there. I know the son here fights him, and that's when they run away together, leaving Dad behind. So little by little, we've whittled away this family. The parents are now gone.
Correct.
I don't know where they're going because they were just on like a moped or a motorcycle. Probably a moped.
Yeah, I don't remember the vehicle, but I do remember the Coke advertisement, the leaving, and the creepy relationship to daughter.
Well, granddaughter.
Or granddaughter. Yeah.
Well, I don't know we can granddaughter because it's time travel. And it seems to be like, unless this dude is in on it, feels like, that's really what's happening.
1,000,000%. No, I think it is.
And of course, on the next time on, I'm pretty sure we saw Mom coming back again.
Yes, that's what was confusing me about remembering. I remembered something about Mom, but it didn't fit in with the episode.
Also,
that makes sense.
Let's see. The first episode, we had the birds that replace other eggs in the nest with their own eggs to make those birds raise those birds.
Correct.
And the second episode was about penguins.
Yes, because it was how penguins, the males hatch the eggs and they walk around with the eggs.
So I'm still not exactly sure what the theme is there. Obviously, I went in hard on the bird one from the first episode, and then did not read anything of that in the episode itself. And then the penguin thing just right over my head. So I don't know.
I imagine we'll stick with the bird theme, and then and we might be able to make more of a connection depending on the bird.
Can't wait for this episode to start about wolves then.
Wolves are the birds of dogs. So
I'd argue that dogs are the wolves of the dogs are the wolves of birds. What the fuck, Brain? I was gonna say that dogs are the birds of wolves. Well, because like wolves would be like your more predatory bird species, like eagles and what. I guess that falls apart immediately when I just called them birds anyway.
Yeah.
Well, my thought process is predatory birds, and then you have like house birds and pet birds, something like that.
Wolves would be more dinosaurs compared to birds. Sorry, compared to dogs.
Wolves would be more dinosaurs compared. Okay, I see where you're going there. That's confused me from this outset. But yeah, you're saying like the previous version.
Correct.
So the analogy, dinosaurs are to birds as wolves are to dogs.
Correct, because we tamed dinosaurs and they became birds.
Well, more so that dinosaurs evolved into birds.
Exactly.
And wolves sort of evolved into dogs, and that there's still wolves out there though. So
no, they 100% evolved into dogs because it was the process of controlled environments. Yeah.
Like we both said two different things, but they both still apply, I guess.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I just mean that one happened naturally, and the other one happened because of us.
Yep.
Alright, weird tangent based on a show that's already weird.
Yeah, if there's any spot that a weird tangent's okay, this might be it.
I mean, anything else you want to get into before we hop into this?
No, I don't think so.
Let's hop into it.
Let's do it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Is
that a grouse?
Promise this had a name like eucalyptus or something like that, so I'm confused. I don't know the type of bird. Also, don't grouses have typically like a giant thing right under the neck?
Yeah.
求愛行動とは何か。鳥に限らず、自然状態における動物は己の私有の場所、すなわちテリトリーを持ち、これに対する他者の侵入には恐怖と、その反作用としての敵対心を呼び起こす。しかしその一方で、両者には繁殖を望む性的動機もまた同時
I'm
に
just waiting for the bat to go full swing into this girl's face.
した接触を許すためには、この敵対心をそらす必要があり、結果的に求愛行動と呼ばれる一連の儀式的行動が導入されることになるのである。
Okay.
Yeah.
しかし、
Well, they're animals. Makes sense.
That bird design makes me feel just a little bit uncomfortable.
すなわち緊張の糸の切れる一瞬、しばしば攻撃は現実のものとなる。
Well, you went for it. I felt like this is the kind of show where we would get that.
Yeah.
あるいはスポーツ等へ転化して発散する。しかし、多くはこれらの破綻を乗り越え、緊張の緩和を促す総合ディスプレイへと向かうのである。ゆりかもめの頭下げ、ヨーロッパコウノトリのくちばしならし、あ、青足カツオドリのそらさしディスプレイ。 ヨーロッパヘラサギの総葉づくろい。しかし、配偶者
Blue-footed booby, one of the best names.
メスが握っており、求愛行動はまたオスが己の能力を誇示する方法ともなるのである。
If there was any connection to this, one thing I can think of is the son bought a baseball bat one episode, and now he's running away with his granddaughter.
Yeah. This art is so good.
より珍奇にそのディスプレイのインパクトに命をかけるのでありました。
That's fun.
こうしも香るる恋の山、恋は意外の政なごと。間が遠なりゃちぎりが薄い、いとこ同士はかもの味。
What? That last one threw me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Alright. Still as unconnected to anything as I can feel.
So, it seems like it's just birds are describing what each episode's going to be about.
Okay. Describe how the penguins applied the last episode.
The relationship between father and son, and the son eventually leaving the nest.
Right, but wasn't the first one about how penguins raised the child?
And that's what the father was doing.
Right, so in your analogy, or in the analogy of the opening that you're working with here,
yes,
the analogy covers the thing before what the show happened.
Maybe.
Which then implies that it has nothing to do with that part.
Possibly.
The same way that the, whatever that bird was that replaces the eggs in the nest had nothing to do. Right? Because she's not raising her grandfather. So she's not actually replacing the mother in that fashion.
In the last episode, she was.
No, she was like being a maid. Unless you're saying the maid raises you, in which case there's other jobs in that bailiwick that that do that.
Well, I think there's an argument to be made to saying that they can, depending on who you are within the family.
Sure. If you like your 14 to 1600s romance novels.
True.
People of the lower floors will never get into relationships with the people of the upper floors.
How coy.
I don't know, is that supposed to imply that he's in a down and out area or something?
I could see it, especially based off the person who was there.
I feel like the way they said supposed is an imply maybe she's lying.
I still think it's a possibility. Oh.
Well, maybe that explains why they weren't in the high rise before last episode.
Yeah.
It's one of those rare occasions where we didn't have to do a recap. Not that our recap was very good.
No.
Name of a flower.
Yep.
Okay, so she hired an investigator to keep track of her family.
Oh, okay, I see what you...
しかしご安心ください。警察の失踪人リストはもちろんのこと、不動産屋から立ち食い。
I guess it's like the manner of a stage play to have like a spotlight on you to indicate that you're in the scene together but not exactly in the same location.
Yep.
This is mean of the ways of explaining why they're both looking forwards and not at each other.
そう考えなら、それはやめといた方がよろしいですよ、奥さん。いや、わかってます。わかっておりますとも、奥さんの苦しい胸の。
Insert idea.
あの息子があれほど優しかったあの息子が成り行きとはいえ暴行傷害、不純異性交友、そして悪夢のような同性。それもこれもみんなあの小娘のせいだわ。あの性悪女が、あのメギツネが、あのペテン師が、あの。しかし、せめて私が。
I mean, she is spending a lot of money.
ここまで事態を悪化させずに済んだものを私が家を出たばっかりに。まあ、できてしまったことはともかく、事態が混迷を極めた時には事の本質に立ち返ることです。
I think if she had stayed, the things that would have progressed was just the scene where they were arguing about her staying. We just would have gotten more of that.
ご主人やご子息が受け入れなければ、奥さんが家を出られる必要もなかった。分不相応な新居の購入も、変態じみた男との逃走も。そしてその男を殴り倒したその挙句、若い二人が逃亡生活の果てに悲鳴やかに暗く、そのゆえに甘美な同性時代に突入する必要もなかった。今さら一体何の畳み込みですの。
I mean, I will say she cleans up nicely.
Absolutely.
Then again, we've only really saw her after she just woke up.
虚構と申し上げてもよろしいが、このペテンを支える根拠とは一体何か。尻のあざでしたっけ。猛虎犯ですわ。星型の猛虎犯。バカバカしい。若い娘が尻をめくったぐらいでコロコロとあのスケベ親子が。確かにご子息に関して言えば。
I mean, it is a very specific birthmark.
あえて信じたふりをした、つまり
隠し犯の疑いがあるにはありますが、しかしご主人は違う。ご主人はあの娘が真実自分のひ孫であり、自らの血縁の末端に位置する存在と信じ、そのありうべからざる設定に残りの長い反省をかけた。
なぜ？どうして？長年連れ添った妻である私の言葉に耳も貸さず、なぜそんな曖昧なものを信じなければならないの？
家を守り、家庭を守るため、過酷な日常を生き抜いてきたご主人にとって、タイムトラベルだの、タイムマシンだのは、
Flights of fancy.
もう一人、一生に付すべきヨダ話に過ぎませんでした。非日常的飛躍、非現実的設定。しかし、だからこそ、ご主人はそれを
Same guy that went down to a sports shop to buy a golf club to fight his son.
人間は時として、いや常に虚構にこそ己をかけようとする存在だからです。
Please break out into a musical. Ah, never mind.
人々の胸にありもしない憧れをかきたてる邪悪な声の源。感銘な日常に疲れ、堅牢な感実に心なえるとき、黒い水面を渡る波紋のように非現実の彼方から押し寄せ、魂を引き裂いて去ってゆく。
This show is true. This is truly absurd. In a very interesting way.
It makes sense. It's the basis of most, like, adventure movies. A lot of isekai.
You're not wrong.
It's the matter of if she was lying, how would she know all of this to have, like, initiated anything?
真実とか可能性とかそういった言葉はただ確固とした現実、積み上げられた事実の上でのみ語られるべきものです。
ただ事実だけをその目で見、その手で触れることのできる現実のみを信じるとおっしゃる。
当然ですわ。それともあなたはそれ以外の何を信じるとおっしゃるの？
私が信ずるもの、それはこれです。
My patented Nikon camera.
Haha, that was fun.
人に伝えられる形となって初めて成立するものです。目撃された印象、レトリックやシンボルに満ちた言葉、そんなものを重ねてみたところで、相互に見出されるのは人間という不確かな存在によって夢見られたイメージに過ぎません。レンズを通し、フィルムに定着された真実。
It's funny talking about all the subjectivity and the ideal of a camera, because I just watched a breakdown of a movie. I cannot remember the word to save my life, but it's literally about the blur of the edge of a camera that a photographer will use to maintain focus on what they want to focus on. It has a specific one word for it. But it also implies that even a camera or a picture can lose focus on reality in order to see what you want to see. Which I guess is kind of what's going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I almost used that as the background of the overlay before.
Nice.
Maroko.
いやー、ちょっとその呼んでみたくなったもんだから。
変なおじい
そうかな。そうだな、やっぱり。笑ってる場合じゃないんだよ、本当の話が。このドラマの主役としてより劇的な展開を図るべく駆け落ちまでやらかして、非日常的設定の中で男女の情念の世界やら凄まじい愛欲のドラマやらが始まると、そう思えばこそオウムドラマではタブーだったバイオレンスまで導入したんだ。
Meant to interrupt this, but the word I was trying to remember was bokeh? B-O-K-E-H.
Not aware of it, but
Photography term that describes the blurred, out-of-focus quality of a background in a photograph.
nice.
Comes from a Japanese word meaning blur or haze.
It's an interesting concept to play with.
By the way, remember when we got this in episode 1?
Yep.
I don't know, is he breaking the fourth wall? Or is this just internal monologue given in solo monologue form? That is...
Yep.
I mean... This show is a lot of words for very simple things. Simple things in complex situations.
Indeed, it's complex.
Well, I mean,
like
the idea of what we do physically means more than what we say with words is a fine thing to say, but at the same time, the actual situation of being your grandpa or you're her grandpa, possibly.
Uh-huh.
おじいさま。ひいおじいさま、どうしていらっしゃるかしら。
その話はやめようよ。
でも、やっぱり私たちのしたことは間違っていたのかも。
あの時は仕方なかったんだ。それより
She certainly does look better with her hair down, though.
そのことを考えなくちゃ。そうだ。
Yeah, agreed.
僕たちは家を捨てたんだ。もう帰るところもなければ頼れる親もない。この広い世間に二人っきりなんだ。若い二人のささやかな幸福を押しつぶそうと悪意の牙をむき出して襲いかかってくる。
Not bad at guitar either.
そして底意地の悪い老人のような現実の生活に
Oh no. And it's properly tuned as well.
Is it?
Yep.
みんな私が悪かったんだわ。私が押しかけてきたばっかりにおじいさまをこんな状況に追い込んでしまって。いいえ、それだけじゃないわ。ひいおじいさまやそれにひいおばあさまのことだって。私さえこの時代
Because if she really did come back into the past to serve her ancestors, then all of this is a horrible situation.
おじいさまたちの優しさに甘えてこんな結果を招いてしまうなんて。私さえいなくなれば。
ちょっと待った。
Yeah, unless this is like a Kyle Reese situation.
Uh-huh.
I stare off to the side to see if you any recognition in your face that you know what I'm talking about.
That's Terminator, right?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
The mother of the guy you're supposed to go back in time to protect, turns out to be the woman you fall in love with, have a son with, so that he can later send you back in time to protect her.
Yep.
今頃独身生活をエンジョイしてるかもな。案外。
でも。
それより。
Because we don't know who her dad is.
持ち出した預金も使え。
Her dad might turn out to be the daughter. I mean, sorry, the son. Well, it could be the daughter. It's modern times. Could be
Yeah.
whoever child he has with her.
だとしたら一体何のためにこの時代にやってきたのか。
そんなことないって。
でも近頃のおじい様を見てると何かに耐えてるようなそんな感じが。
それはまあ耐えてるけどさ、いろいろと。
Yeah, like why your hands shaky when they're off screen.
お風呂の帰りに横丁の電話ボックスに貼ってあった募集広告。
若くて明るいあなた、気軽に働いてみませんか。衣服貸与、日給1万円以上、託児所完備、足抜け負荷、異彩面談、キャバレー、ロンパリ。
何？
いや。
一生懸命働いて、そうすればおじい様と私の生活ぐらい。
いいんだってばマロコ、俺だってまだ若いんだ。仕事さえ選ばなければなんだって。明日朝から仕事を探しに行くよ。約束するよ、きっとだ。だから今夜もう休む。
いいえ。私ったらおじい様の優しさについ甘えてしまってマルコがバカでした。おじい様、マルコは頑張ります。ご先祖様のためにヨモタの家のために。
I think it's a double indemnity for him because he doesn't want her working at a hostess club because he wants that himself.
いや。
若い異性と交際する機会だって。見ていてくださいおじい様。きっと若くて生活力のある殿方を捕まえてこのヨモタの家を立派に再興してご覧に入れますわ。その時にはひいおじい様やひいおばあ様をお迎えしておじい様にも気楽な隠居生活を。
すまないなマルコ。そうじゃないんだってば。
He's basically just shot himself in the foot in this very weird situation that he's in.
Yeah.
I mean, as entertaining as he is, I don't want to root for him.
I don't know. I'm not actively rooting for anybody in this.
Well, I'm rooting for the mom.
I'm just here for the drama.
The mom ain't done nothing wrong, other than possibly cheating on her husband with a photographer. That's his fault. Again, the thing that makes it weirder, or worst of all, is how rationally he's thinking about everything. It's no longer like a matter of like instinct or in the moment.
Yeah, no, it's active choice.
I mean, actively, the photographer building is literally just outside your window. Conceivably, your mother could see you this whole time.
Yep. Yep.
Who redid his entire appearance? Was he got changed by getting hit in the head with a baseball bat?
Maybe.
Oh. Or it's his ancestor. He's from the future, remember?
Yep.
So assumably he has ancestors here in the past.
親父の肩代わりをする言われはない。
甘ったれるな小僧。そんな家庭の事情が世の中に通用すると思うか。いいか。人はその自由意志において。
It is kind of weird to go after the son for the fathers alone.
It's depending on if it's a less than legal source of the loan, it's actually pretty common.
Pretty sure he said he was from the bank, didn't he? It's not like he was like taken out with a Yakuza.
夫婦は他人でも子は親を選べないと言いたいんだろう。
せめて利子だけでも払えと言っとるんだ。
と言われてもないそではフレンゼ。
それを振ってみせるのが俺の仕事なんだよ、坊や。そこの
You get another bat fight?
可愛らしい顔ならたっぷり稼げるぜ。
まさかまさか
そのまさかよ。
そんな
Yep.
そんなマルコをアイドルとしてデビューさせるなんてあんまりだ。
そんなんじゃねえ。若くて明るいあなた、気軽に働いてみませんか。衣服太陽。
Yeah, I think Idol was like not the way it was going.
そんな反家庭的武装が社会的打者であるこの俺に通用すると思うか。世間と呼ばれる世界のどぎつさ見せてやるぜ。
あ、UFO。
Also, clock tattoo on the back.
Yep.
Where this guy from the future just wears it on his shirt.
己の物語を演じつつ、しかし人はその物語の作者たることは決して許されない。近代の苦悩が分かったか小僧。
I mean, that is kind of meta commentary on life in the modern age. At best, you're a co-author of your own story. All right. Like I said, it's a lot of words for a very, I don't want to call it simple. It is a very simple situation in a very complex narrative.
So it's complex, but it's not complicated.
Well, I mean, like, boy runs away with girl is the very basis of a very simple story. Now, the fact that that girl may or may not be his granddaughter from the future, doesn't really change all that much other than his motivations, right? His motivation is get laid.
Yes.
Possibly more than that, but I mean, it's the basis of the motivation. Which is why it's so much more complex when he's like, hey, I feel guilty for maybe having broken the family apart, so I can get this job where I like kind of use my body to bring in money so that you and great-grandfather and great-grandmother don't have to be put off by me being around so much. And he's like, well, no, I don't want other people to see you, I want to see you. It goes against everything that I want. But if I indicate as such, I could ruin everything in my hopes and dreams for getting some of that later. So, at the moment, I am at a crossroads. Oh, hold on.
そしてバンダイによって暴かれたマロコの恐るべき
True identity?
次回ご先祖様万々歳剣道将来剣道将来にこうご期待
I'm going to assume true identity is going to be a fake out. That she's going to assert what that person's true identity is, and based on information that she's got, that's going to turn out to be wrong.
See that?
But yeah, and then insert what I'm assuming is not actually our Time Patrol guy, but is actually the ancestor of the Time Patrol guy, who just also happens to have a time tattoo on his back.
Yes. No, that makes a lot of sense. Because it just show about ancestors, having another one in there seems to be a not that far of a logical stretch.
Well, the thing I see coming into play probably is
Yeah.
the element that we've gotten that the time patrol guy says that you can't go back in time and help your ancestors. And then his ancestor being a part of the story now, he's going to unintentionally help him. And then going to be called out for hypocrisy.
Yeah. No, I could see that.
Well, because he's actively fighting our boy here. And
I also
then,
think that we might get a case of there's still this pulled up.
venereal disease.
No, of Maroko actively just choosing to go back versus there actually being like a time cop has to arrest.
Well, the time machine isn't anywhere around them anymore.
True.
Because if we recall, the time machine was the Nikon blimp. And they moved out of that apartment, got a house, then abandoned that
but the
house.
time machine only looked like the blimp because they were in the past.
Right.
So it could be around them.
Well, no, because it was the blimp.
So, but it might look like something else.
Well, we didn't get any tell that it could change its form. Just that it
Fair
looked
enough.
differently in the past. Like, the TARDIS always looks like the TARDIS. Although it's supposed to look like everything, it just doesn't. The idea that it changed its appearance because it's in the past is different from it can constantly change its appearance.
Fair
Like,
enough.
maybe it's still at the apartment complex, still floating around like a blimp,
Possibly.
waiting for them to go back to it.
Which would be a full circle journey.
Don't know that's going to show you. The thing is, it's 6 episodes in Gosenzo-sama.
Yep.
And we are 3 episodes in.
Correct.
Also, this is the last episode you're going to see, so you'll never know. You're just leaving off on a really weird point, and I can't wait to have to try to explain this to lessons at some point.
Oh, that will be a fun one.
So he's got a star-shaped butt tattoo. Nope, sorry, birthmark.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all know how great I am at explaining things, which makes me such a great reactor.
The first time he met his granddaughter, she showed him her butt.
Well, no, actually, that's not true.
Because the birthmark. Because the birthmark.
No, remember that came like near the end of the episode where the mom's like, prove it, and all this shit, and then we see his butt because for some reason we got to prove it to the audience.
Oh, that's completely explainable. That's show not tell.
I mean, technically, the first time he sees her is with binoculars in the field, but then if you want to go with like relatively the first time he actually sees her, it's through the eye hole of the door, where he then gives us a monologue about love at first sight. I can't really remember what he was talking about in that scene.
Indeed. No, this is a very interesting. This feels almost more like a case study into like the psyche of somebody versus a show.
It's certainly not your like normal time travel story.
Correct.
So I mean, if you wanted this in a normal way, you'd watch Back to the Future. Boy goes back in time, falls in love with a family member. Well, that's more direct. I guess
that's way more direct.
Because the actual situation from Back to the Future would be Back to the Future 3, and he doesn't fall in love with the grandma or whatever that relation would be. The Wild West family member.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe it's closer to... I can't remember the name of it. There's the one story where every character in the story is the main character. Like, he has a sex change at some point and he actually gives... I think he gets raped. But the thing is, he gets raped by himself, not recognizing that it's a woman. The woman is him because he has a sex change operation. I think it might be called Zombie. Because it's mindless, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That he is, in every aspect of the story, everybody he encounters is himself that he doesn't recognize. Because, older version of him, younger version of him, one that has a sex change, one that's God, it is well known. I just can't remember the name, but I'm pretty sure you may have heard of it if I could remember the name. I want to say it's something like Zombie. And my predilection to zombie media is how I came across it, but also the fact that I love time travel stories as well.
Yeah. That sounds interesting. But yeah, this is just a very, very interesting ride.
I mean, any final thoughts?
No, I think it's been talked about. Like, again, it's pretty concise with the story that they're telling. They're just doing it in such a way that there's a lot of detail.
Okay, just real quick before we end, the story is called All You Zombies by Robert A. Heinemann. Very prolific sci-fi author. All You Zombies chronicles a young man later revealed to be intersex, taken back in time and tricked into impregnating his younger female self before he was forced to undergo sexual reassignment surgery. He turns out to be the offspring of that union, with the paradoxical result that he is his own mother and father. As the story unfolds, all the major characters are revealed to be the same person at different stages of their life.
Ooh, that's fun.
Well, Robert Heinemann, Starship Troopers, the story of that one guy who's immortal and just retelling his story throughout life. Anyway, this is from 1959, by the way.
Yeah, no, I just looked up. Also written in one day? Fucking Jesus.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just know that it's the go-to example of a very complicated, interconnected time travel story.
Yeah.
Probably gave away the most complex part. Not the most complex, the most, jarring part where you find out that they're all the same guy.
I like it, though. That's a fun little detail.
Alright, well, I guess that is it then. Once again, thank you to Henri for sponsoring this. And I've been Theta, this has been Justin. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?